Hello, everyone. Welcome to Paradigm Shift. My name is Patrik Barfi. Here, we are going to teach you how to make dramatic improvement in the quality of your life. You see, Albert Einstein can't be. Or see a deba queen here. I was eating your home, and say, see it, make sure say, and I say, decision, fundamental decision. And the question be was he be say, if you see a way, say na woman, if you see a very friendly, and I say, if you see a very hostile universe, sana woman and say na woman. If you see a woody woman, say, I say, ubia, I say, one we are at each other's throat, and to qua. To say ubi a bonny negative nkwan o hɔ na say a positive na who the old dream na say ni usu we aso say bibia to say asent kwanko ubi anya obi nye papa we are say ana say who ni sa na life so be because as a son as we create our life now we who ni sa no bibia. This is like a form of a great scientific mind. Send you and I send you see whom we are seeing sequel. Sana about life. The person when they may share, and say, you imagine you share this scene. Say who fear, if you are fear. Now kaki kutao. Now boom, lights go off. Yeah, power failure. It's a power call of sana. Na this was a kakra. DNA or scramble around so bit me baby at na year and I say boka copper light views a day na abo. Now all of a sudden key at offo. Oka key not offo. To start to so shaky na oh pager when who say oh say outside crowd the light oh street light no. It's why you say the person the city no. It's why you say baby about our dreams are. Esumi amiti amehwehwe amehun. I don't mean call light na simum na men kohwehwe. Your friend is saying, "Be key." You say yes. And na upi through fee na call street light na now start to say we show key. You've been looking and looking and looking and looking. Then your neighbor came around. Hi. What happened, Patrik? I say I dropped my keys. Oh, I'll help you find your keys. I'm starting some share. After a while, move on a neighbor ni bisa say nah. And if Ankasa pa I'll drop your key. I'll catch us. Oh, me drop a key no me fee, me living room. Anybody say, are you telling me say what drop your key no fee? And what back all the way out now we should share key no one. Because it doesn't make sense. Now say yeah, when make it sense to you, say what darkness now show key. Now light outside. That now make show key no light no outside. One will say was three. One will say was three. But yes, I be in you will struggle be, you will difficult to be, you will problems be. I name suddenly inside the crana. That we are out there trying to look at from somewhere else. Because if you say the problem, no, the issue, the whatever, no, the solution is outside, even though you say, you know, after so many years, crying. The actually say, you probably break crying, I be a free gun and I be sa. The struggle and you face the problems, the difficulties, and if you say the solution was outside. After say be a free or cry so many years, you have say even any baby, any location, maybe a cry. We are still afraid to do the right thing. And then my sister Brako Bekasa, very energetic, very brave, very smart. I only do that thing. We take it the boldness, it may change that situation. I will relocate here or hear the right thing. And then the Bekasa, yeah, if you send here, also the city. Come see fast, see bit me a boy, me a Sister Mechiao.
Yeah, bra.
You say Baba had a dear by Kabi introduction kakramai. Na to say the idea and Yama for people's request almost say in some review na you make a chrome casantino. Eti introduction kakra na bia Ghana maybe out now from beginning answer. Na fi yemfen free yen komo.
Patrik, your intro, by the way, was just spot on. So moving. It
Thank
does.
you.
Mpacho, medasi. Say we invited me. I'm very honored to be here. Now, if I'm a queer, I said it do no. Me Ghana ni. Me na me wo for a number of years. Na me wo Canada with my family, and about 6 months ago, he relocated here into the city here to Ghana permanently now. Yenye ya adwin say ye ko bebia. Nti bisa say why me a me nie.
Wadiwa.
Yeah.
Wadiwa. Yo, thank you for the little bit introduction. So yeah, started free hand. You see who baby say I'm Canada, right?
Oh, Debbie.
Okay, auntie. Na hemfa ne
Debbie, I want Canada.
yeah,
You
school
me
kakra
come.
koye
If you do
time I free.
Yes.
Okay. Auntie, time when I
Yes.
free, do you contact a call Canada? I'm say story crime say and start with Canada.
Debbie. Yes, yeah, when we chrome, you know, I don't cry. Na me dwene ho say, Miss my you. Yeah, when me chrome bian kwanta. Hwana metna hwa until I think now we're class 5 and na bibisa and I ba kumase. And a betna hwa nso so kakra called JSS. Nti JSS na mu no. And na me di free Ghana eba US New York City. And I hon so yɛtena hɔ abɛɛ 4 years ɛna yɛfiri hɔ nom baa Canada ɛbɛkɔ university ɛna Canada no deɛ ɛbɔ yɛ atena aseɛ ɛna yɛtena hɔ a na yɛde abɛdidi mu a yɛde abɛduru Ghana no yeah.
Awesome. Into Canada no send a net here about US and I'll be fancy be let's say GSS into by US no what happened now up to Canada no bet me my baby kakra ho.
Me pa try maybe I think so I'm about 13 and something like that. 1997 mo amo dem
Yeah, for any move
yeah, also obi maybe babuche the brand na ye ni gisem enti no man akola wo onya chance say wo babuche wow the brand just figure
of course
just
yeah cry still if you more cry still no more ba any je wom still we go on one nya cry we di 50 na me no bi kasa we di 55 for person ba then ya je so person ba bye t
oh any gisem pa enti but also usana so babuche dia unim said the live in the city enti me dem me buy any there minim some babuche enti no I initially I was just taking it in and remember hana mentiase in the beginning the abuche no na my expectation was high na it was very high so and na I am say say I say normal bisa kind of sani manema no until the more they call high school the by university and yeah they tena mo ade adwuma abepem baby abepem the experience was I think it's a story of its own, to be honest. I can't yes mean to me I say the experience is a journey, to be honest, and maybe and a bit me aka ho asem kakra because
okay
yeah
anything you were 80 from New York no over high school kakra hansa na ukoto aso Canada and how do you college after college boy what happened
yes after college and yeah after but me what university na you know, the last thing I wanted because Canada home I was by myself because my Jamie parents were New York. Until now I was by myself. I didn't me na me pay situation be I say my real school na me nya adwuma nya na say me nam. Before I said me be real school cry, na I started pay adwuma meye. I started working while I was a student in prisons and parole
Now, before
offices.
so better us, I didn't know Canada. Because in parents no, and the whole family na move here.
There be. Me real school no. I say maybe pan no what's not Canada no di can't na for no any choice or say do baby no na ni nuanom ne na for bebre wo US nti he wanted to go to US. By the time I me buy and no US was settle crowd just say were you okay? And see, essence what Canada had on to I had legal status at Canada had school and buy Canada, and a lot of people don't realize that almost universities is heavily subsidized if you are legal. Like heavily subsidized. Now university was a much more affordable for you. Would you loan cry is not comparable to say they will be our private universities in the US now. We choose to say never can. I'm choosing one. Never can choose it, but
and I always said wow. So school fees now no sir. Student loans now no sir.
And can USD income.
Can we prayer? Can we do it? That's it. You achieve.
Jai, and my school fees near reasonable for sure, for sure. And see on that aspect, a boy, very much so. And I think that boy me and Casanzo so I became a bit stronger and things like that because when your parents be answer, you can go one of two ways. You can either when you bed then why the right thing or not. Oh, we go be unsure, you know. Yeah, it ended up being a good experience overall.
Yo, it's had your hand. It's where we na dear na we Jima Ben and now we send an live city or Canada. You know.
Yeah, me in school, no.
Why Canadian boga?
Yes, me in school, no. There was not the thought semester back because by that time, no, my business system, no more Canada and all of that. You know, it was just easier for me. And I think we don't realize maybe when we're in Africa, but the where you school, no, one more. Kind of say one more should shake a crowd school, no. Say if that makes sense, like. You know, if you school in England, England for culture, ne woman,
yes.
It's a man, no, a little bit for me, and I'm say a very easier to penetrate the Canadian system because it's my bet or system
system
So me a criminology, and I decided to say either say me police and I say me pro. And see, I think in my third year, I started working as you can say it is an internship. I was still a student. And see, I was working in the prisons. I also worked in the parole offices around. And see, maybe I did my classes near less, no, not my core office or not my core volunteer. Sometimes it's a volunteer, sometimes it's a student position. Not my core, and see, by the time I'm in real school, now I say in prison system, num kakra. Because that my ejuma for bare 1 year or so. And I did the one year church exams because I wanted to be a parole officer anyway. And I did be a parole officer and that job no for about 18 years.
Wow.
And one me did ba your friend is saying Ghana. Yeah.
Wow. It's Misha. Yes, I said, now near my course of Kakra, and when you say you be on the pan be on bar, send you see can at least what me go through the school system Kakra, winning system so Kakra, intern, it will be a crowd, and you might the one maybe I'll shame or Kakra near the way on Yama. If I say life and Casanet, same with Canada near day, not sending it here.
To be frank, Canada no na make us say maybe sua woman and system no. And see, I was able to penetrate my way where baby and I'm person me fan me fa ho.
Yes. Good.
Me fa ho. Yes. it wasn't a struggle. No, what I do want to say me I mean ye man for fear almost to ye to be as it's managed means I say it was a struggle for me at all in terms of maybe Rebecca say financially and I say bibi sana dear no it was not kakra bit me I the atene mu no dear
at least unya wo dear so no dear
yes.
They want home to family,
Exactly.
always food on the table, shelter,
Exactly.
so okay,
Exactly.
yeah, okay, at least.
Exactly.
Eti, Sunday money na e kama. And so one time I'm because but so sister na say, who say I say the whole year. Then na ma I say who say still na because we be okay. We are the same kid in the area. What you say nyama at least nyama to e bia obedi kakakra bi nyama and still mortgage kakakra was so near day. But I say nyama to ye dia. Dia last I say my own as a woman feel say still no because what you penetrate the system no at least what you kakra near. Ti dia na e koso ma who say as still na ho na say nyama obisa.
Also we intro no. We say nipa na safire e woni dem o. No we pia one thing. Giddy yes I want. Barfi, I'm so happy you asked me this question. It's perfect because Obia be beside myself say now to honum we juma we say I had my family all of that and see then I be ma will say oh back Ghana and I say I think it's a me imagine I make sure in there but I will say it I think it's a
before so because my main can't baby kakransa won say e bi mu die different e bi story obi on mobile we hu so da what did they no nti no see another story obi bi on we hu so da but from what you say in it it's like at least enye too much krana o all die right ti baby adu ti beto there is there nti be say me hu that side because most people who am no kasa no the struggle is more financial we no more know about that but still na say won hu shada ntino bi sa you know, I say,
no.
Yedi, and Marco to assume say on swimming. Oh, bisa na style.
Yes. Also, again, you've made a perfect analogy. Anomano, okay, everyone say, "Men and me anomano." Yeah, because that to swimming. So what I did was, even though me swimming, I figured out how to swim, but I was not meant to swim.
That's right.
It's all the time, no. I'm just surviving by swimming, but that's not where I belong. And I know it inside me. So, yeah, obi ho ba brocha a struggle because a brocha no krano brabefi ube attest to this. Sometimes before ansana ubenya unkrata krano ebi anu etwa bed 5 6 7 ebi kra 10 years. It's within that 10 years now ebi asani pa no twa no. What was the experience like? Fine. Me ma fasa line. I had papers and all of that. But now we can story be say. Also, your quabrucha is most of the time no, you call with one agenda. To me, yeah, agenda ni purely economics most of the time. I don't think say you nipa bebra ebroche yo mo fekeke entina ebia wo kotena ho keke most of the time no ye ko say ye ko pe bibi abefi ye feel say ebroche no is a better life in terms of economics. The reason I may point away and say majority of the time high economics no a nim and yen factor anything else and I think it's a mistake.
You're right.
Oh, yeah, my economics don't quama two sebi to every year chrome, and we become convinced to say that alone is enough for us to go to a foreign land that we've never been before. That was my predicament. And you can use me as an example. On say abroche no ye ba ne ye metna hoda. It is also sika pen na obepen. One consider bibia, one consider say you must go on my. One consider say wo bibini no kra no ye omo pe wasem okrom ana so mo pe wasem. One consider kra say djuma e de be ma no e fitew. E ye djuma wo ne wo kra like wo pesa wo ya consider ni nyina obra. And no one say, oh, a sika or honti piska. And I think it's a mistake because by doing that, we undermine all of our core needs as human beings. We overlook them. Honestly, Brother Barfi, have you ever known anybody who would say, oh, abroche, okay, yeah, okay, mo ukwa abroche na hokra no, say no mu treat nipa. Obi ebusa sa question na da.
Then misa ebusa sa da. You will scare you chrome crowd after your economics na near the bar.
Economics na.
Yeah.
And when we don't ask those questions now, we are making a huge mistake. Okay, mami fa we into ho. Bra say wo koto dan. Baby and as wo koto asase kra sidan. And now koto asase ayefu a. I don't think say ukoya atechem cry de ma wa na wato because wo pass ase. Ukoto dan a ope baby a neighborhood no ukona se ka so many hakra projects ni ade a anhwe cry ye de ma $2 per wonto. Why don't we make those same considerations? Why is the money a DNM kind emaye overlooking all the other variables? Ye kroma enka enyema fa ye ma ye ho kwan ma ye di we abroche no enka ye ma ho kwan but abroche no ye allow because you think say a discover brain and scan no maybe tonight we will have a chance to talk about it. Majority of the time no enye ska bia kramponi ye beko akonya ho. And that was my predicament. And I said, and no, I may be realizing. Say no. Even though me ye chamika all right. I mean, it was not a problem at all. I set goals for myself and I achieved them. Oh, me pese minya ketiowe and I achieved them. I did all that. But I made the mistake of not considering baby ametsino. Is it where I'm supposed to be? And ultimately, I decided say it wasn't. And I said, "Me ne me family ye be who say ya betina krobia sa krono omo peyen e wo krono so. Number 1, number 2, omo peye ye e wo krono so. Excuse me. And to say wo be ye I just say wo bibini no. I just say wo the word I'm using, you have to suppress yourself. I did be a ma identity so ye bibini no. Was so kataso. Na chrome one no. Even though obi obehu say we tuntum no, woni ye no, ubesesa woni ye na koye te say obi abrofo and I say the in line with abrofo no. Ansana chances be why there but also sunny yes and also no kumusunsum. And see depression, all those things, I know a lot of people went through it. I myself went through because by moving up in a corporate ladder and doing all that, Mr. Barfi, you have to be black cry to say menewa. When no has to be very not black. And you are killing your spirit by doing that.
Yeah, Fred also you have to police yourself all the time. So on the other Canada.
All the time. All the time. You are policing. Imagine, police be anyone tell you, but what done who police?
Looking at your shoulders.
He's absolutely right. So why ubenya nyamebe boa ma wenya sa realization no? The only way you have to come back home. You have to leave that place and come back home.
But it's easy, sir. It's easy. You better time. It's only issue. Ultimately, yes, sir. Last time I've been Fred, because a friend say, I saw a money look as a simple bone crown, a check a crack, no, I be na COVID be shame near there. But all the NCA there and say it was very quick, it was very quick. Before say the other side, cry, she say now, because maybe I will have a chance to talk about money. Kakra miss me when say, especially you see, when we talk of BBT say capitalism, I'm off if you say a political word, maybe when you say a political word, because you say, oh, system be more the way capitalism is, and say your value, you can put your value out there. Not only saying you see PBR. Meaning much about Canada. You say Canada has a both. But here say if you really make a lot of money, earn money, be half, yeah, to make be 200,000, be 80,000 echo. And also send our funnel, young Casca crowd. And then young cry, and you probably breathe, say, Cassia, be pisca about some of us Bahama, and sometimes when you sanity. Share experience on that.
Got you. Also, not me, can say. The premise, me some say me catch me used to bro for but you know me.
Oh, see, they mix it. How they mix it?
Ye nyina so na ye gina so de ba bruchi no. To me, sebi. Atuchima kaka wrong kakra. On say, so what they obey school cry, ube hwehwe school no me boa. I was say school no ye school papa. Now who parents no I was a school no and meet who values. And son out of background by your co-brocha you musa any of those things. Obusa capitalism. Send them no bra. A brocha system no Canada and US both. Canada they sell themselves to say they're a little bit of there's a mix of socialism, right? Like
socialism and capital,
but it's still a pure capitalist society. Mm-hmm. It's still the same thing. So you live in a society where it's structured to favor, they always say the very top, but it's actually structured to favor the corporations, which even America and Canada both, and a lot of Western countries, Canada was formed by the Hudson's Bay Company. In the beginning, it was a corporation that went over there and they were running their business. If you think about the West in those terms, they are countries, but they are run as corporations. It's one laws, it favors the corporations. And see, even though slavery is so many years ago, no, the current system that we have, no, the employees, so we are employee. Now, when you're a corporation, you are still under the slavery system. And until now, we are Juma. And we see is in their tax code. That's how the tax code is written. As I said, with Robert Kiyosaki, all the time. The tax code is written such that the employee is the one who's taxed. The only one that's taxed. How does that make sense? Who employee now who that salary so no when you're taxed? Why? Because the whole country is owned by the corporations. And so somebody employee no in my opinion. And that's some of the more study system. No, that's basically what it comes to. And until who employee you bet taxed by the corporations no will not get taxed because when you do run it, the corporation or quote unquote the country. If that makes sense. Also, bra, when you study you musa, you baby a free bar, kumasini adi no corporations ben running honum sani man. It's you know who baby a bit rainy, but it's a totally different society. We don't ask. And once you be room, who be Roman no adani employee, we are Jumani ajifa. I can tell you for a fact. Say, me deductions. It was close to 50%.
Yeah. also cost stores near the crowd to near money.
Oh my, it's more, then it's even over.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the year, it was only when I had my 3 kids and that tax no also file taxes so they still, because that's the system. Who is a slave? And at the end of the day, almost be living wage. We never asked what that actually means. A living wage is just supposed to keep you alive.
Yeah, higher friend minimum wage.
No, but when you think about it, like the other kind of isn't it just keeping you alive?
Yeah. Yeah, after minimum wage credit, I don't think they keep you alive, because I'm saying ocean crime say minimum wage is still about 20-something thousand. Yeah, 20.
How much is rent alone?
Yeah, so rent cry 1,000. We have say 20-something thousand until tax cry.
Tax to my you to tax, bruh. Get to tax.
Eti sa ne mun na yenhwe ene ye way yenhwe eti ye ba say 50,000 now pay a bit take you by 10 years and when you say 50,000 10 years kwana se kra wa so ye pa, enti to you now say it's not worth it like the way especially ya dream na ye the buy say economically anything you buy. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I can discuss him kakra. Ye move to say say we see can out to say now I say show with you all the time. Eti the day ya fidie o say no me sa komechi. Because say we see kakra na say na Ghana kra say u free na ache kakra.
Oh, na ache ye. Na ache but ya na me ba me not often, but answer na yebetuno within that span of how many 20 whatever years na maybe I'm about to 3 or so times. I mean, I'm not proud of it. I should probably come more, but not me about once in a while. I mean, kind of sad. Yeah, na me share my chica. Can me say a lot of questions. Na me one said the more I will show who to say the federal police who wants to know what cry any nye. Oh, and I did back also I will throw out there are and it's very rare say when you be back in some year can so who were with you, right? You notice that? Like you just go through the motions, right? Once said in your time cry and you so you just kind of like, kind of just going through the, like it's so fast paced, like like so fast paced. And to me say me reading me I can kind audio book say bia me kwa adwuma na e wo kanum na all those kind of things. And then to talk about it, I say, babe, I would say I'm going to talk about like drugs and alcohol and those things. E wo baby I say, but it's not unintentional. Say when you go to poor areas and everything, you may not find grocery stores for miles, but you find liquor stores everywhere. Also, system knows that we are more oppressed the masses. No, definitely you're not going to be content. And see, the busy, fast pace, the drugs and alcohol, it all keeps us like from becoming aware of our actual condition in the system. It's ebia ukwa ejuma ofre ejuma beje onya wine bi obobo bia obehwem no wada na ade ache na asako.
The actually no problem need that to wadi.
Like it's they know sana ko so bra. Ubetu ani no mo 20 years. Na da so team. Enti media na me pushy, but the difference came for me. I used to read a lot of materials and those kind of things. I didn't really have the courage to be frank all those years, but now I was still searching. I was trying to find a solution to semenya freedom kakra, because I felt there was no freedom. You have the house, you have the car, you have this, you have that.
Oh, I'm say online not kakra. The phone fan him say the line not kakra. Yeah, I think I said see can. I'm say the courage, sometimes unya ka beko nipa bebre ho no unya ka beko so ultimate kasa mental kasa ntino minim say bia you can go out and come back in betimi ama anyway betimi akọ back na ka wasa abayina yo eti ti said na hwese metimi yo mo fan check kakra na I'm saying ne line no e we kakra ti obesa abayi hwe ti I'm saying mo be a fina what joining in welcome you all, you know, Fred Abna your friend saying Ken Muna welcome. There was this scenario and I may come once a month. Now we're talking about it. Say, look at how it will be free your friends in Ghana. Now you free Ghana no. Because of it's funny how I all kind of same thing, no? Because that was my intro. The way I'm easy to say, imagine how Unimpa say, I say, when it's as a darkness, be man, I say, it's so dark, you are in there, what drop your key, trying to look for your key, you can't find your key, right? It's, you know, but two, and you know, say outside, feel inside, outside, there's a light outside. So, no, I'm going to that light over there. And go for this on my uncle.
How I got cut off, I can't even explain.
I mean, not until to me, you said be able to never back you. Yo,
I think my side now, I don't know what happened, but yeah.
Eti, what's the buy no? Now to me, you had the courage. Now you're still searching, you're still trying to find a solution to it.
Yeah, I was still searching. I was always searching, Mr. Barfi, in my own way. Sometimes we're doing small chance beer. I because also you cry no any didn't kita like any didn't come up. You're always searching. Say, is this all there is? So forever and ever, I'm gonna be like this. So, me kasakra means me shedan kebio. Meduane means me like oh you know. I was saying my sister me kind of saying. The way I'm at Siankasa, also all the time, no prescription, I prescribe amount, no. Lay as a dulemu. I was say, yeah, check quite be amount. Said the beer, what you find check a crab, you're done. It's I was always searching, say, is this all there is? And I think in all my searching, or maybe PMO Mr. Obenda teaching so. And that really is what cemented it for me. Said, no, this is not all there is.
That's it. I gotta go.
I can go. I can leave this place. You know? And so, and then it started, me say, by the time I'm BPM, so I could teach this, no. I consumed so much of his teachings there because I said, no, my shisha. I said, no, I can't live like this forever. I'm already kind of depressed because it's like work, home, kids, daycare, this. You know, the only freedom kakra benya ne say bia okwa sorry and I say bibisa that to say as obenya culture near mano. That's about it. All the other you know, and I say just say what else is there?
I said microaggression was too much, bisa.
Too much.
So when you say the people breathe, to say the okano. But what do you think, say? Because who are now the fear say oba dear na me ejuma you are or say you say be pay capital so be after 20 years so that's why when your capital so that's why dear na me even cry no hospital last time you know kasakra you know we debunk it sa na mani na school be na me mabeko ni sa na man ufi say nya no nti na manfo say be ho person be kwa na bibisa na.
Yes, no. Because Nipano, they are being realistic. Say, ebi amekọ Ghana adwuma sem ne saa nneɛma no. But I think say mpɛn pii no, those fear no, it comes from the belief say ye kurom nye. Also, we intro no there. I think that I'll keep going back to it. What's in the panic here with them? And what show I want to. Our problems have to be solved where the problems are. We cannot run and go outside. See a copy solution. And yes, and say, "Bia, ya encounter a problem, it be fear, ya solve na you Of course, it's still going to be haunting the person. Say, oh, na me kwa na me ye me kwa say because the problem. Then we never attacked the problem. We ran from the problem. But mechanics say, living in Africa is like living anywhere else in the world. Sana me mechanic. Yeah, sana mekano bra because there's no place I'll bet na so like perfect sir. Okay, as any they have the best healthcare there. So why do people get sick and die? And you're gonna hang on nipa bra. Just the other day, and yesterday, a few months ago. Me aunt, 68, Maryland.
Okay.
The best care is in Abuche Meboa. So why couldn't he save her? And nothing that make us say, living in Africa is like living everywhere else in the world. The problems are human problems, not location problems. It is a miminya problem. Now me feel say American kwane bit my solve mamia. Me feel say meti. It is a human condition. Baby ameko biano me encounter bi ho. It mean also me finding solutions to my problems wherever I am.
Eti said ye the school sway say nti obukodru Ghana no send na etie wetimi akọ okodru ye no send na etie.
Yeah, I mean Barfi, there are decent schools here. I mean, so upe school womo yenkachi near Scarborough for slang any de kaka ubenya bi ha. So there are decent schools here. There are people, some of the schools here in the crowd, to me, having gone through the school systems, both high school and university, were Bruchino, makes my some of the schools here far outperforms some of those public schools were Bruchi. And to the issue, say, yeah, ma ever call Saitoni, they can't cahono. And no, they are your choice. Last time we talked about the fact that Bruchino is the same income discrimination and a wohonum. So uni scar
zip code.
Yes, it's not going to be the same as among Weska because they put it by they zone it. It's by zip code.
Yeah.
And
school no.
Yes.
Here fuma. Same thing. It is still let's come back to what Usika.
It comes back to Usika. It comes back to Awarness. So, and how many of us in world Bra Befi, you was so much money, your man and your brofono eco school together. A mom was can eco school together.
Few, very few.
Very few. The education they're giving us our children or us out there. I don't even think they're not any high quality, like people may say. Ebia the locations so nipano wa bruche or school wa bruche never man level kakra. But in terms of content, there are schools in Ghana that can far outperform, a lot of these public schools at Bruche. Far. And now I'm never been go school and try SATs and top scores in the can count.
And pharma,
scholarship. You have people with scholarship straight from Ghana to Harvard. My own brother, 2 of them actually, they had scholarships from KNUST straight to Abuchi. Straight.
I'm for so tia mo kwa mutimi nya kra
because the schools no has only enti de ye ma memo de ekono and no tal about yenim koso.
Until say ye debonk school, ye debonk hospital. So sikasem so no and yet send see who no sa no also ba Uncle Sam or be any justice to you. You was can nyakra ni ade outimi ro school ni ade. It's not say nyehu sa bia sa. Just as say no compare Ghana. Tie for dem say udru Ghana no. Me say me no didn't come on just as any master take so set any finance. It how do you say as compare financially crowd. Senate here. Me say freedom no dey waka. We say just say udru here to say we to be job what take crowd we dey agenda house because but if I say financial we have Senate here.
I think I spent a lot less in Ghana than I was spending in Ewabuchi. So I don't pay rent because we live in our own home, but we are no free wire. And I'm trying to say another factor which proves that I spend less because even in Ghana, when you own your own home, that's it.
Complete.
You own it. There are no other extra anything. You pay water if you go with the Ghana water like omo pipe no. So we used to be aware and no crown is not in your cry and electricity. But some people too choose to do boreholes, so they cut out the water bill completely out and they have their borehole. I spend a lot less in Ghana than I do. I know it because since we've been here, we have not our business have not generated income yet. But we are spending so much less than we did over there that we have zero close to work. Just say nothing. So enye huno ubusa say enye huno bra fano ye perception about Africa. Because they say if you say Africa everything is dire. Bibia say any and non the money not actually the reality. In fact, I will throw this out there. Recently, I came across a Ugandan man. His name is Hamis Kigundu with a double G. Hamis Kigundu. He's worth about $1 billion. He's from Uganda, not even Rwanda. Uganda, brah.
Yeah.
He's worth over $1 billion. He said a lot of times the problems that we face is that when we analyze things, we don't use the reality. Oh, say Ebian Sensembia Matete. Na media no take a decision. Ubeti.
Just your facts and your friend.
Thank you. We don't use the facts. Sometimes we are so afraid, we actually run from the fact. We don't see the actual reality. No, he's not aware or she's not aware. Because we don't face that to use that to make our decision. Bruh, if we actually use the facts on the ground, coming home will be a piece of cake in my view. Because okay, you name one to me.
Minchawano, mene. I said you can any debunk school, hospital, Nisanya. And it few guys near Casam say one time in the back with Casabika say, now I said Ghana, I said, boss, was say, Ghana. Was it the only out? Was it Ghana? I said, or the ship me bunch it as a form. The triaka, or see a triaka, I feel like I'm a denable, a triaka. It's you catch yourself as a Ghana idea. Let's say, be a woody, what receive be up so easy.
You see?
No, it's hard to say, no, yeah, scowl form, scan a form.
Yes. So if we will allow ourselves to face the facts, and then semi yetiti, and then you're reading on the news in a foreign land for that matter. And I said, Yema, you read it in the mainstream media. Now, they give facts out for ourselves, sir. Right? And you can't, because 1 + 1 is 2. Yeah, there 1 + 1 is 2.
Yeah.
It is a who allow who at the 1 + 1 boom now who 2 now. Who can discuss? Who can convince you say 1 + 1 is 3, and I a -1?
The information also count, and then my facts. No,
facts. Me the facts. No, and then me who the. You use the facts. Whatever decision you will take care about anything, even if it's not Africa, but especially about Africa, because any man war about Africa, no, lots of them. I'm not here to say South Africa is perfect. Like I said, I said living in Africa is like living anywhere else in the world. You have problems that you have to solve here, just like anywhere else in the world. You can't run from it.
Yes. Wow. Already, send we need see either. We can't hear because your time no call. 2 things na mpesa we mami. 1. Akasache ya intimi nya courage this year beba no. Even though what debunk few things were kasache na the second thing no. So yeah. Omomo episode mo bagidgidi no because last time no kasa I was yinja hom no mo ko bi no mo hwese ne sitie. Kasa ba the kasache this 2 group na ye hende wa.
It's a very important question, and Obisa Barfi. The American say, so who are you? Okay, Mamin can say, bra. Any decision that you want to take, no, start gathering the facts for yourself. Once you have the facts, nobody can tell you nay or yay. And yeah, Fena, who be busa say, oh, Meka last time no busa Ghana business be cry na eko. Business be break, business be bring sonko. It's a wrong question because so do we need to say business when echo. Now bana so be ye na say anye ya na say within a few years na share say are you going to go back to the American say so what your bro titiru na e bia opese be fear start gathering the facts for yourself. So bet me aba for a trip. Cry, let's say 1 month. No, be gather information on the ground for yourself, abra. And ma anywhere in any decision that you take, even if it's not about Africa, because a huno will prevent you from seeing the facts. You have to go and look out for the facts. And no nebema one who pay what you're dealing with. And you over here facts new way. Now we decided say, oh, after African come who the echo and your bad sat in a but and your mamia. At least we've seen the facts. But maybe opinion, the majority of the time, no, if you see the facts, you will know say it is not what you've been thinking all along.
Yeah.
And then I also say so one person one person go and experience it for yourself. But I will say this: make sure you know and understand the society you are going into. It's not only about experience. You are going to a place you've never been before. You are going to live amongst people who are different from you. Do you understand their culture? Do you agree with their values? I think there's important questions to ask yourself before you move. Economics alone should not be the deciding factor.
Wow, very powerful. In IATO, we should let the facts be our friend. You're my facts and you're a friend. Minia, upesa ukono. Ejuma biblio who are brutina besokwa. Ejuma biblio. Missing the boys nibi kasa. Join the show every Wednesday. Subscribe to Patrik Barfi, and every Wednesday I talk to different people. Obine catch say, what's a Ghana ede? Kobrebo mi kra. Ada na Ghana ede. Yote ase. Na wow, what's up episode bano? Yeah, episode be fine, but waba be experience be. But yet, so sad to say the no. And the what here found. It is all die be who you may be a cotton, then from that. Yes, I want here on Sabbath yes for. Obi also be about Oba, and Yama Yaman be what may be businesses near there. But majority no percentage now a few pen enjoy said the Ghana bit may build business, bit may so many. A few. I know so many people move businesses near the. But I'll calculate now her numbers now. Encouraging. Hey, it's sister cool for tears will be JB on Waba. And we are and yes, you boo be able to say, man, so how can I say Hannah as a hand yet? In say, see a map in Yama. Very, it should be light out there, it should be clear. Now we decide what you may decide. So, until that note, you bend your by subscribe to the Patrik YouTube channel. Now, in your paradigm shift every Wednesday, you start to pay every Monday. So, your name is Tobin Dakunwaha. And so, the same time, Ghana time, 9 to 10 p.m. And US time, so 4 to 5 p.m. Until we meet again, make sure you spend wisely, save intentionally, and be generous. Bye-bye.